Yeah, I request Jija to welcome everyone on behalf of Art Mantram. Please mute your whatever gadget you're using, your phone, your computer, and over to Jija.
Thank you, Raji. My dear friends from Mandram and outside, I have a very pleasant task today, welcoming all of you and the versatile Miss Minku Buttar, Mingse, to this evening's art cafe. I have known Minku for a while as a friend of Mantram, and now seems across lifetimes. Mingu, the chair of Art Mantram Committee, Ideation, Design, Planning, and Empowerment, is a popular figure, difficult to describe. The person who's introducing Vandana is going to have a tough time. But I recall with joy Minku's Circle of Joy retreat in Shekhawati, and with real gratefulness, her meticulous planning of the wine and food during the purple carpet gala we had at ITC. Um, um,
Yeah,
One of
it
the
was
ITC hotels, I forget the name now.
Adina.
Gardenia, sorry, yeah. ITC Gardenia. Um, uh, the meticulousness was so much, not only that she paired all the wine and the dishes, but for food, to decorate the food and to add joy and joy the wave. She got ITC to fly down many flowers of many colors to add to the. I guess it was flower therapy also, perhaps, but then it was such a visual treat, and which nobody else can. I think present. Mm, Now, about a little bit about Art Mantram, that's what I was asked to say. As many of you know, Art Mantram is a 20-year-old organization, and we have been going along organizing hundreds of programs. We believe that art is a part of life of everyone. And towards this, promoting art, artists, and artisans, we have been doing a lot of workshops, art shows, mm, uh, art camps, and residencies, and everything. Mm, uh, During the pandemic, it was when we all truly realized the value, the merit of all the work we have been doing, when we turned away from the usual charities that we support, like autism and disabled persons, and education of the underprivileged, the girl child, etc., etc. We started supporting migrant workers. We started supporting artists, not only the painters, but also the performing artists, artisans, weavers, all of them. We realized the underbelly of the society. There are a lot of people who are surviving on their creative work but did not have enough to cope with in a pandemic situation. We understood, we in Art Mantram realized the joy and power of giving at that time specifically. Even today, we are doing a lot of work. And we also started these art cafes way back in 2020 when Modi ji first announced the COVID lockdown. Even before, a day before the actual lockdown started. These art cafes, that time done every single day in the evenings, it kept all of us occupied and cheerful, organizing or attending these with a glass of wine, or with a cup of coffee, and listening to people. This is the fourth season we are organizing, and we have had many kinds, many formats. We have presented many formats, all enjoyable, and all these have been recorded and they are available on our YouTube as well as Facebook. Now, Minku Buttar is a mm, Minku Buttar does not really, as I mentioned, does not need much introduction to this group or Bangalore, or now she's flying high and internationally. Over to Vandana Sarin to really introduce Minku Buttar. Welcome once again to all of you on behalf of Art Mantram and on my own behalf to today's very significant art cafe. Minku and Vandana.
Thank you so much, Jija, and a very warm welcome, everybody, to today's session of Art and Wellness. And as Jija put it, it's a really mammoth task introducing Minku. Who's a dear friend, and I've also known Minku for, I think, a decade plus now, it appears, right?
Yes.
And to me, she is so versatile and so dynamic. She's a go-getter, if I can, for want of another word, and so committed to what she does. And I think the resilience she shows in exploring different dimensions of life and living. In one para, what I'm going to say is not going to really do justice to the kind of person she is and the work she does. So Minku is a transformational facilitator. She's a life coach. She's a healer. She's a founder of the Circle of Joy, and that offers self-mastery workshops and retreats. And plus that, she has her own fashion brand called Mixi. And, she's also a keynote speaker, motivational talks, and she has now also begun her own new talk show on YouTube called Choosing Joy, Secrets and Stories from All Over the World, which is based on her own life's, very enriching learnings. And she has worked with enlightened masters. And I think all those studies have brought her to do her programs, which she helps hundreds of women to heal and empower themselves, and claim life at their own terms. I think that is phenomenal. She's also a published writer, and she's also an artist who works with multimedia, and her installations are in Dubai and all over the place. So what do I say? I mean, that's a humongous introduction to Minku, who's besides being a team leader at one of Art Pantram's verticals, she's also she's received multiple awards, including the Women's Economic Forum and the Fitness Council of Karnataka. She's also on Atmanirbhar's, on their as an advisor, and that supports pan India artisans all across. And change maker, influencer, I think, Minku, there's a lot more than just those two terms which you have, won awards for. And, the Telangana government recently in 2021 awarded the Stree Shakti Award. And she's also award winner at the Women's Economic Forum. And also in 2020, the Changemaker Award for Swami Vivekanand Award. So that's a whole gamut, but we're so looking forward to today's session, Nix, as I call her lovingly, and I think I will stay with that. Before we move ahead, I just want to say, please keep your mics on mute. Questions as they come up, please put them on chat, and we will invite you in to ask your question. And at that moment, one request that you please switch on your video because the interactiveness is important. Nix, over to you. Take it away.
Thank you so much for that loving introduction by first Jija and then you. And I so badly at some point just wanted to interrupt and say, it's okay. It's okay. We don't have to bring up everything, but you were so lovingly vested in that. And I didn't have the heart. Thank you. It just almost felt like you were talking about someone else because I just kind of, when I was growing up, my mother used to say, just do and put it in the well, do put it in the well. Don't look for any accolades, don't look for appreciation, and I guess that's what I've done. I celebrate life, if I can put it like that. I think that is one word which just completely encompasses it. So thank you for that wonderful elaborate. I just don't want to take away even a single more minute. There were a few people who've inboxed me today and said, I'm sorry, but we can't come in, last minute emergencies. We understand times are bad. And a lot of people, just to let you know, Vandana and Vinita, they are looking forward to the recording. So how is everyone feeling today? Is everyone good? I love interactive audiences, and let's see what comes through, how much we can without being overly ambitious. I have learned to live in between the pauses, which I never used to. So those pauses have become a very vital part of me and my existence. So trust in what's happening here today, because this program was not created in this dimension. I just wanted to share this with you today. Mark Twain, he said that the two more important days in our life is, of course, the day we are born and the day we find out why. So for all of us, I hope we live with our whys. And the reason we are with Art Mantram is because we resonate with our whys. We're doing what we're doing because of our whys. And if you agree with me that this life is full of so much of uncertainty, and consciously or unconsciously, each one of us is making a million of emotional reactions and zillions of decisions, right? And if you really, really think about it, our actions, our reactions, our responses are all fueled by our emotions and our thought processes. Now, these two, thoughts and emotions, they are fed by our karmic DNA, which is called the collective prarabdhas for those who study Vedanta. And I've spent wonderful number of years with Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji. He was very fond of me. He always insisted I sit in the first seat. Vinny, we've been there together at Rishikesh, and it's been just amazing learnings from him. So our karmic DNA, which is the collective prarabdhas, and our belief systems that are formed from our family patterns and our conditioning that our parents exposed us to when we were growing up. Now, I know that we all here, because I know each one of you, right? We are in a very earnest and a mindful and a very curious journey. And I consider myself an empath, and I think the interpretations of my thought processes and how to work out how to work my way through emotions to heal hidden traumas is a huge priority for me. And I know that it is for you all. That's why you're attending the session, right? Otherwise you won't be here, because I truly believe that there is no coincidences, my friends, only providence. Now for the next, I'm just looking at the time, we're already at 5:20, which doesn't leave me with even half the amount of time that I would have liked. Let's see how you could always, one of you interrupt and say, okay, let's take it to the end, because I could go on for at least an hour or two. So before I get into this session about frequency and vibrations and colors, I also have to share with you, which I don't know if any one of you knows, but I'm the Indian ambassador for a meditation group called 1 Million Meditators. And it is a group of thousands of meditators around the world. And I have learned over the years that it is the responsibility of a healer, of a speaker, to dive into the collective consciousness of the group that you're about to address. So with a lot of love and humility, I have to say that as a giver today in this role, because a lot of times I'm very happy to receive, and to you all receivers, all of you who are either the left side of the brain, which means that your logical thinking is very heightened, and those like me who are more connected to creativity, imagination, and artistic thoughts. I just want you all to know that everyone here is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful soul, shining souls. And I congratulate you all for loving life, even when you sometimes think it's not possible. So I would like to start by first checking in with ourselves. Okay. Take a moment. And if we could have the slides, if I can, Vinita is very kindly coming in because I have a very unstable. We'll start with this, which is, of course, let's go to the second slide, Vinita, and I'm going to rest with that. I would like you to, in the second slide, check in with yourself. Vinita, if you could go to this next slide, sweetie. Vinita, are you there? Vinita, could we go with the second slide? I'm so tempted to run my mouse over it and change it.
It's on the second slide, Minku.
Oh, I am still seeing the first one. Why is that?
Can you see this? Check in with yourself. It's on the slide.
No, I'm
the first slide.
It's still the first one. Yeah, it's still the first one.
Just click twice on the second one, then it'll open.
Yeah. And we're still seeing the first one.
Second is the animation, the outline.
Yeah. So while she's pulling it up, I just want to go right into it, what it's going to be. So here is something that we're going to do today. If you just pull that up a little bit more. We can't see the slide, Vinita. Okay, so basically, let's go on. So I want you to check in to yourself. You have a pen and paper. Where are you in life today? Okay, and I'll share a trick with you before you start scribbling, because we all have a habit of, someone asks us to do something and then we say, oh, yeah, let's see how much we can write. I learned this trick from Phyllis Crystal. Phyllis Crystal was 100 years old when she came to India, and I'm one of her last legacies. She taught 30 of us on how to cut the cords. So imagine that you have right now you have a cord, right? You have a cord which is going from the top of your head, and it is going up in the akasha, in the space, to a point where it meets. Okay, so imagine that there's a cord, and this is your telephonic connection, and you have this for a lifetime. I use it all the time when I'm in dilemmas and when I want answers. So today I'm trying to show you how you can check in with yourself as a very simple exercise, which is very important, because you will actually get to know if you wrote these answers straightforward versus now you just connect yourself to this cord, and at the top, imagine a ball of golden light, or you can imagine just any avatara that you connect to, any god, any energy, anyone that you connect to. Okay, I want this. We come from different faiths, we come from different backgrounds. So I always say that our responsibility as a speaker, as a healer, is to let go of the control, and it is not about taking the control. So just connect with your higher consciousness through the ball of light, which is universal. And we will take a minute just now for you to say, how are you feeling today? And you will write for yourself, I'm feeling this way because. Today I'm feeling, in the box, you could just say, I'm feeling this. And then you will say, because. And what can you do to make yourself feel better? So just read that, and while you're writing, I will very softly will also, to fuel this thought process, I will give you some information to get your subconscious. Sometimes it's like those old scooters, you got to kick it. And if you really want to be authentic, connect to your higher divine self, ask yourself questions like, is it happiness, joy, and power to manifest abundance? Is that what you're seeking? Maybe you want to see peace in the world. Maybe you lost a dear one in these COVID times and you really want peace, right? What do you want to see? Do you want to see our dwindling economic, environmental resources to start to flourish again? How many of you maybe just want sparkle in your charisma? Okay, so whatever comes down for you. This is very, very important right now at this stage of self-evaluation and reflection. Let's take a exactly a minute. I will monitor this and then I will come back. You don't really have to close your eyes. You could actually be looking. Remember, we are trying to learn not to be the controller. We are trying not to be the doer. Let's start being human being and not human doing. That's the shift I'm trying to make today, right? So allow and trust in the process. This is what we all don't do. And in a little while, I'm going to take you through that process where we're going to drop our egos, because egos is what interferes. We are, I am. No, we are nothing. We're nothing. So allow for this answer. If you are, could I request any one of you, even if you have answered only one or two questions, can someone unmute themselves and come in and see, or how was it different? Having connected with your own self, how was it different for you? Are you surprised at the answers that you received? Anyone wants to unmute themselves? Otherwise, I'm going to have to call up someone. Okay, could I ask Jija to come in? Jija? How was it for you?
I generally feel, very light and on top of the world. But for the past 2-3 days, I've been feeling a little bit heavy. And even though nothing much was wrong, I felt that, things are all going wrong, kind of a thing. Now when I was just closing my eyes and seeing, I realized that my expectations are high, and my expectations, especially of people, are, however much I lower them, I can't lower them to the level of my own happiness. Does that answer your question? So when I shook off that, when I realized that is my problem, I felt better and lighter.
Yes, so that's beautiful. So now what is it that you can do to feel better? You answered that. You feel that the solution here is you have to lower your expectations. So I invite you, because this is how your answers come. You do and question yourself in any minute, and you receive the answers in the same, because no one had to tell you that. You know that you have to lower your expectations. So I suggest, Jija, for you, talking about colors, what's coming for me is every time you are disappointed with the benchmarks that you wedge, yes, you can wedge them lower. It doesn't mean that anyone will meet even the lower. You might have to keep going lower and lower. So I would say that treat this in an isolated way. Say, take one person, for example. When we in life, when we club things together, it can seem really, really humongous. But if we isolate our disappointments, if we isolate all that doesn't come through for us, what happens is the brunt of it, the impact of it is much lighter. So take one person at a time, and I would like you to imagine a white, pure light between your bottom of your spine, coccyx, to them, and imagine that there is a beam of light which is white color, which is going through both your spines and then meeting in a vortex in the middle. And imagine a white light coming through. You will be amazed, and I invite, please everyone take these things down, because sometimes I might not be able to recollect what I said, because I'm getting a download as I speak. This is not a prepared script sometimes, right? So always when you're disappointed, when you're hurt, imagine the other person, a white, brilliant light going on the floor between your coccyx and meeting at the bottom, and drench them in white light, drench yourself in white light. So what you're doing is you're getting equanimity. Somewhere they will lift their standards and you will be able to effortlessly raise and understand why they cannot meet. We get stuck with not. I hope that helps, Tija. Thank you so much for coming in. Let's go forward. Let's go. I just think that we all have personality, we have a flair, we have a style, and sometimes what we call charisma. I work big time with charisma. And my favorite quote is Marianne Williamson, who said that charisma is a sparkle in people that people can't buy. It's an invisible energy with visible effects. It's an invisible energy with visible effects. So why are we not able to show up charismatic? Why are we not our best versions? Because we want to be a very confident, we want to be a brilliant, a courageous self. We want to be someone who embraces our own creative spirit, right? Why have we lost the truth of who we are? I think we're going to do a lot of introspection. And even after the session, I will invite all of you to just sit very quietly for a lot of truth for yourself. So why do you think that we have lost the truth for ourselves? Is Vrinda, because I see her. Vrinda, could I ask you to unmute yourself and tell me, why do you think we are not able to show up as our best versions, Vrinda? Would you like to take a guess?
Yes, Minku. I think we have a lot of expectation from ourselves and from others. So that's one thing I strongly feel. We expect too much from ourselves. We think, we want to be like gods, demigods.
Yeah.
And we also expect others to be, the same, you know?
Yeah, Vrinda, that's a very good, interesting point. It's very true. It's also about expectations, but beyond that, if I can say this, there is something very common in what we all do. What we have done is we have turned our power over to negative thought forms. Rather than seeing what's good in a person, we try to see what's not good in them, what's not good. Why are we not good enough? Why are they not good enough? Okay, so today, and this power struggle has been going on for thousands of years. You look at religious institutions, look at dogmas, they deconstructed, they destructed everything that we hold dear in life, all right? So I think the sense of control and expectations is driven by people with a fear of being judged. I think there is a fear, and fear can be so incapacitated, it can collapse and it can destroy all our creativity, all our flourishing. And what aids this, and this is where I'm coming to a very important part of our session today, is ego, right? Ego. It's the resistance to accept that there is some damaging self-beliefs that need to be dropped. There is a denial in some of us who are especially left side brain that there is no change needed. What's wrong with me? And we have this habit of sweeping everything under the carpet, every single thing under the carpet. And we feel, what hidden traumas is she talking about? There's nothing to be healed. Now, this attitude can be very, very, very detrimental to our state of consciousness, to our frequency, to our vibrations. Can you all relate to that? That we have, you can take this off. We can go to the next slide, because now I really request everyone to put their videos on. Otherwise, I feel like, oh my God, only 4 people turned up and the others have gone and they're preparing dinner. So could I have everyone back on, please? I would really, 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 I think there is a shift and a change going to happen here today. We are actually going to go into a very, very powerful exercise. So I would like to see that you are with me, okay? Now, this is we are going to go into a small invocation. It's not a meditation, because I know some of you are averse to it and they always go like, ha, what meditation? We never meditate. So I would like to invite you for a smallest invocation. Are you all good with that? Something we do together? Yes. Can I have a show of hands? Are we all good to do an invocation? Raji, Vandana, everyone's fine? Okay, let's do that together. Okay. It's twofold. One is to embrace our own divinity, because we are all divine beings. Come on. Part two, we are actually God. We can manifest anything we want. And second is to minimize your ego. The ego blocks you from receiving abundance, and the universe has so much in store for you. Okay, so by minimizing the ego, you allow for a new slate, a new blueprint that has such power to wipe off your old thought patterns that don't serve you anymore. And you start operating from a very, very high frequency. So trust me on this. Ego is your block. Now, why is ego a block? Let me explain to you if you don't understand. I really, really want you to understand today. Now, the problems in our world, they stem from the fact that ego does 95% of the day-to-day thinking. It's supposed to do only 5%. And in the third dimensional body, it's very intimately connected with the left brain. Remember, I keep talking about the left and the right brain, right? Of course, it helps us navigate reality. You don't want to bump into things. It reminds us of upcoming events. All that is fine. What I'm saying is ego, we need to diminish, because it does not allow us that silence, that peace that we all need, where our souls can be nourished. So to give you an example of ego, because ego meditation is available on my YouTube. I think it's the most watched and followed. I have a very, very dear client who's become a friend, and he's watched it 295 times in 3 months. And his wife started saying, Minku, he goes to bed with that. So it's helped him so much. Now imagine that your ego, actually, it should be like an office assistant or a GPS navigation system in our cars. Okay, so imagine that one day the GPS in your car started talking to you, and it started telling you nice things about yourself. It talked to you all the time. It reminded you of all redundant past events. It caused you to have emotional responses. It made you worry about future events. And then what happens? It gets too much, and it starts to control you. That's what ego does. Now, if it was a defective GPS, we can return it. But a ego needs to be recalibrated so that it works only 5% and not 95%. So we are going to recalibrate this. If I can have that beautiful, beautiful fifth slide, where I want you to imagine yourself in this garden right now. Benita, thank you. Could we have the fifth? Yes, that one. Yes, the next one. So I would like you to imagine that you are in this garden. The next one, Benita. Yeah, the fifth one. Okay. And the next one, Benita. So I would like you to imagine. Vinita, we're not seeing the fifth slide, sweetie. Yeah, no, the one before that. Okay, yes, thank you. So I would like you, before you close your eyes, to look at this beautiful, can you all hear the music at the background a little bit? Is the volume okay? Do I need to tone it down? Okay.
Can't hear the music.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, so take a deep breath and imagine that you're in this beautiful garden with so many blossoms, and it brings a smile, and you can choose, do you want to be sitting under the tree, or would you like to be on that bench? And maybe this is the day you feel like you wanted to wade in that water. It's up to you. So I would like you to relax, and you can repeat after me loudly or in your mind. You can close your eyes now, or you can keep them open. I want you to be comfortable. For some people, closing eyes is scary. Keep them open. Rejoice in this beautiful scene in front of you and repeat in your mind or loudly, whatever works for you. I am a bundle of pure divinity, perfect and precious creation of unlimited intelligence and creativity. I have the divine power to be the alchemist, mixing and creating precious energies, thoughts, forms into a divine energy of the highest order. I might not be perfect, but I do hold the power to the expansion of my life and the world around me. Today, on the 12th of February at 5:40 p.m., I'm ready to create abundance in my life. I open myself today to finding ways of cleansing my accrued garbage from many, many lifetimes. I'm also ready to accept that I am flawed. I am not perfect, and I commit to being more watchful of the karmic rubbish I am collecting each day with a lower frequency. Now pause, take a deep breath, and imagine 1,000-petal lotus starting to unfold one at a time in your heart chakra. Feel the tingle around your heart. If you really, really tap into it, you can even place your hands on your heart if that makes you comfortable. You see a beautiful pink light, an aura descending on your whole body. For those who have their eyes open, if you really are connected with your subconscious, you will actually see a pink glaze and a light in the room. I see it around me. The lotus at your heart is fully blossomed now, and there is a joy in your heart. In your inner scene, you see yourself as a 10-year-old jumping around in this garden, a song in your heart. And you think to yourself, oh my God, in the midst of all these uncertainties and lack of clarity, there lies a wild beauty, a hope, a possibility, the promise of something bigger than what is happening just beneath the surface. I feel it. I feel it. I deserve joy, and I'm a magnet to good health and good wealth. Abundance. I invite abundance. From today, I pledge to myself, no one can make me feel inferior without my consent. I would like you all to put out your hands with the palms turned upwards. With a deep breath, I am now ready to receive what is for my highest good. And I drop all my resistance and I set myself and my soul to be nourished, body to be rejuvenated and healed. I'm open to receiving guidance. I'm not afraid anymore. Friends, I want you to imagine your fears now as a white dove. Maybe it was sitting in the tree. And it opens its wings and flutters and flies away, taking all your fears with it, leaving you so light without burden, and allowing curiosity to come back into your life. And you feel your shoulders. You could even rotate your shoulders if you like. It's like you've carried a baggage and dropped it so easily. And a loud sigh escapes. Don't hold anything back today. You can feel already the difference this has made. Now see a violet light starting at the top of your crown, the Sahasrara chakra. It's washing your brows, your throat, your heart, just above the navel where your emotions sit. The emotions are being washed away down your belly, the Swadhisthana, and then it goes and rests in your Muladhara, the end of your spine. Feel, friends, this infusion. How beautiful, because you have dropped the resistance. Say to yourself, I'm ready to drop the ego and allow the quantum shift and the leap to happen today. I invite grace, abundance, humility, and love. I do not hate and resent my ego. I do not hate and resent my ego. I understand that I only have to tame it to serve me instead of controlling me. Now stay focused in the present moment and allow the beautiful violet cosmic energy to flow through you, through your body parts. Some of you who are not used to this practice, it will not take long for your ego to engage in a thought process about your family. Maybe you're judging, doubting this invocation, or something about your past, or worry about the future. But as soon as you realize the ego has taken over, say, thank you, ego, for showing me this issue. Now please get back in the box and be quiet. With a smile. Can we say that again? And do this 1,000 times a day if you need to. Every time the ego interferes in the way of you being humble, loving, say, thank you, ego, for showing me this issue. Now, please get back in the box and be quiet. And now return to the cosmic flush of the moment. And sometimes think of the ego like minimizing a program on a computer. And when it minimizes, it goes down to the bottom, left or right of the mental screen. My dear friends, know that from today, your ego will only come in for navigational purposes. Your last invocation for yourself. Stay with your breath. I am at my most powerful and most loving consciousness right now. Take a deep breath. And this is when some people stay in this energy for a long time, but I invite you to move your fingers and toes and slowly put your palms on the top of your eyes and run it all over your body. Feel the uplifting energy made of all the colors of the rainbow. And with a very, very big smile, open your eyes. Raji, can I invite you to tell us about your experience? How was that for you?
I mean, for me, I would say it was very relaxing. First time I'm doing something like this. I think it was very peaceful.
Thank you so much, Raji. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing yourself to be part of this experience. And now that you have experienced, you know that there is nothing, it is you and your subconscious in your higher energies. There is nothing else out there. It's all about you and the power that you hold. So how was it for everyone? Did you feel? Yes? Wonderful. Okay, so let's see. It's time to manifest miracles. I just wanted to, I'm going to run through these slides very, very fast. Let's go to the next one, which tells you that our universe, which is slide 6, because I want to take it quickly down to giving you tools that you can write down on how to keep with sustained frequencies. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. So if we could have the next one, Nita. Yeah, so I just want to say this is the most beautiful time, my friends, to be alive and to manifest miracles. So the universe, I want to share this knowledge with you. The universe has gone through 6 dimensions so far, 6 stages in the inflationary era, as it's called. Okay, which was the setting of the Big Bang, because I like to invoke and study a lot of scientific things of what's happening in the universe and then bring it into the holistic realm. That way everyone relates to it. Then there was the primordial soup era, the plasma era, the dark ages era, and now it's the dark energy era. Even though we call it a golden age, it is a final stage of our universe where expansion has accelerator. So there is no better time to be alive. Do you realize sometimes, and have you noticed how our 24 hours has become 12? And I've had this conversation, I think it was with Jija or someone. We think of something and zoop, it happens. Do you find that as well? Because just to share a small example with you, the other day I wanted a good framer because I'm moving into a new home. I wanted to reframe paintings. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I need a good framer. And all of a sudden my gardener comes up to me and says, Madam, हमको एक हफ्ते का छुट्टी चाहिए. हमको आंख का ऑपरेशन करवाना है. And I said, अच्छा तो आप जाएंगे तो कौन पानी डालेगा? And he said, oh, हमारा भाई डालेगा. And when I asked him, what does his brother do? He said he's actually a framer. And he runs a framing shop. And so I started asking people, does anyone know this fellow? I mean, what caliber? And they said, he's excellent. So this is what the power of your thoughts can be. This is the time of the universe. Be careful what you think, because it is manifesting like this. The 24 hours are no longer 24. It's 12 hours, in fact. Okay, so in fact, Mother Gaia, our earth, that's on a very high vibration ascension. Okay, and it's picking up our ascensions if you want to be part of that ascension. So if you are in negative thoughts, God save you, because it will also manifest. So when I hear dialogues from very beautiful, radiantly talented people who I cross paths with, and they'll go like, oh, you know what, we are all flawed and weak, no pain, no gain. Or, we grow up with these things. And if you don't suffer, we are meant to suffer because we bring this from another karmic. That's all bull. Because whatever you are going through is right now in the present. Okay. So if you decide to make your moment, there's free will. then it will manifest the way you want to. So miraculous guidance, friends, and support is available from the universe right now. It's just that we don't know how to ask. I don't think we are asking enough. Maybe we don't know how to ask, right? So the one thing, if we can go to the next slide, number 7, is about, I just want to say that what is the blocks to our elevation? Let's get to the point now. Very briefly, we're going to go through this. What is it? Your emotions and thoughts. And what is emotions? It's the emotions. It's the energy in motion, right? We all know that, right? We all know that. So what we need to do is how we tackle our emotions is not about where we come from. It's not about our background. It's about where we came from. Doesn't matter. It's how we effectively handle our emotions. So accountability, responsibility is yours. Okay. You have to be responsible for your thoughts, my dear friends. So we have, guess, 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. What does that make? It makes it an average of 2,500 to 3,000 thoughts per hour. That's incredible, right? It's like a butterfly that flies from one flower to another, never standing still. So if you still think that the content of your thoughts is not important, I think you need to rethink things that you repeat in your mind, comments that mind makes, or questions and answers. It's a lot of senseless thoughts. Do you agree with that? That it's a lot of senseless thoughts? Okay. So what do we need to do? Why is it, see, when you're sitting in a car and you've arrived at your destination, would you keep the engine running? No, you need to switch off the engine, right? But why are we not doing that with our mind? Why? Because I think we lack mindful cognizance of our connection with our higher subconscious. We want to be a healthier emotional navigator. We want to be a better version, but we are not doing it. So, friends, yes, certain amount of emotional intelligence is very, very important. Now, what is it? What are the 7 blocks to soul ascension? We know it's ego, we know it's emotion and thoughts. So obviously we have to raise our, we go to the next one. I really want you all to make these notes for yourself. The next one, what are the magic tools to raise vibrations? How many of you do this? Can you write in the chat for me? Because I think our chat needs, I haven't even looked at the chat. I would like so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you write down in the chat for me how many of these are tools that you use on a regular basis? Take a minute to absorb it. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually going to be alert and I'm going to look. Oh, lovely, Jija, Siva, wonderful trip. Thank you. Okay, yes, you can write. Okay. All right. So how many of those do you use on a regular basis? Yes, but just tell me, out of 8, 1, 2, 3, write the figure. Very quickly, let's move on. How many? It's very easy to count. How many of these? Okay, you don't do 3 things. Okay, I wish there was time to ask you which. I do all of this. Vrinda, you're a rock star. Oh my goodness, rock star. Wow. Anyone else who does more than 5? Just put out your hands if you do more than 5. 6, Pavitra. Awesome. Awesome. Vandana, how many? You could just put out your fingers. How many of these are you doing? I know that you be kind. Yes, you've started your spiritual. You live beautiful surroundings. You could get your blood pumping and go for long walks. How many, Vandana? Okay, fantastic. Almost all. I love this. I love this. I love you all. You guys are amazing. Let's go to the next one, which I really want to talk about. I actually want to talk about this because this is something that I have put together as turbo boost for your spiritual growth and then throw in colors as well. Okay. So this is very important. Please take a snapshot. And the way I conduct my sessions is a lot of people later, because there's never time Kusum, I will attend to your question very soon. A lot of things get left out or we rush through it. It is a normal practice that I get calls one-on-one, and I'm very, very, very happy to clear anything that you might want to talk to me. So I want to take you through this, which I have prepared especially for you. What is psychic transformation? See, we play host to many negative emotions and character defects. We have chronic resentment, anger, fear, depression, just to name a few, right? Now, these are huge blocks, my friends, in our spiritual growth. Okay, so this is something that we have to attend to. Okay, now we have to be very careful not to entertain negative emotions. And the way to negate in negative emotions, I told you, if it is with a person, you use white light to run that through up the bottom of our spines and then meet in the top on a vortex and put white light. Now, whenever you feel that you're very, very angry, I'm going to give you another tool. And please, please tell me if that doesn't work for you, because it's worked for thousands of people in the world. When you are angry, imagine, have you all seen like that hourglass that we play games with when we were growing up, right? Now imagine that there is no bottom. There is no bottom on the hourglass, and there is none of that powder in the middle, none of the sand in the middle. So what you have to do is just put that hourglass on top of your head as a tool, right? And imagine beautiful, cooling blue light coming through you. And I'll tell you why people usually don't know this, but people say, oh, use blue color, use this. I'm going a step ahead and giving you fine alternatives. The reason why we use that hourglass, so that whatever comes through is how much your body, your psychological healing, your growth, spiritual growth, where you are in life, only that much will come through. Because too much energy also becomes, you can be either depleted or there is a congestion of prana, what we call prana. So always an hourglass will bring however much you need in life. Okay. So you could do that. Now, spiritual values, I think over the years, you have to work with your negative qualities. We all have it. So what are spiritual virtues? Unconditional love, please enhance, acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, humility, patience, kindness. You will meet with success and failure, because there is nothing called perfection. We just talked about it. Expectations and perfections, they don't go well together. Okay. But you could have your eyes on the fact that I want to go past this dimension. I want to be enlightened. And I'm not going to put a very glorious flower-like accent on enlightenment. It is a lot of hogwash. Just spiritually, and just to be on a spiritual path means you work with your spiritual values. Just treat a day at a time, and this is the path to being in higher frequencies. Let's be pragmatic. Of course, we all study, so it's a great way. Every single morning, dedicate 30 minutes to 1 hour to read something, TEDx, something, a spiritual book that you. I remember that, when I was young, looking back, my father took me to join a public library. I think I was still in elementary school. I tell you, that is the best thing we can give our children. My life has never been the same. And I know that all of us, I heard about the universal law of attraction when I was that young. Okay, and somehow without knowing, I think I started to attract the things that served me. I attracted things that served me so well, right? Now, practices, again, don't be afraid. We did an invocation. Take that into a longer practice that becomes a spiritual practice. Hang out with people who uplift you. people who are always complaining, and I tell you, we are so complacent. Oh, she's a friend, we have to lend a listening ear. But yes, you could lend a listening ear, but you could also show her that you could be her mirror, and you could show her that all she does is come up with something negative about herself, about someone else. People are always cringing. People love to play the victim role. How you protect your boundaries is up to you. So you could put some boundaries in place with your family. And yes, we should be loving, kind, compassionate, empathetic, and be there for them, but not at the expense that they drown you. You're trying to save them, they drown you as well. Okay. I know that a lot of you love nature, but I think with COVID, a lot of us have been indoors. I really, really suggest going to the garden whenever you're feeling diminished, whenever you're not finding a solution. All you have to do is go anywhere outside and put your feet on the ground without your shoes. And you will be amazed at how much of your negativity gets negated. I also suggest ask a lot of spiritual questions to yourself. Our questions, my dear friends, are not outside. Your spirit, your higher conscious will provide you with answers. What is my purpose? Why am I here? What is your actual reality? What kind of a soul do I have? These are questions that, see, we all have taken up a few roles. We take on the priest role, the server, the artisan, warrior, king, sage, scholar. So if you really see about how many roles we have played over so many lifetimes, these are the main ones, right? The good news, a teacher dwells in each one of us, in each one of us. I know that I should be rushing with this. We need to finish at some point. Now, who here, I would suggest, please start following Diana Cooper. Does anyone have you heard about Diana Cooper? Any one of you? Yes? Anyone? Okay, she is wonderful, absolutely wonderful with colors and the form of energy that you could use for healing and conscious expansion. Okay, so that is just amazing, amazing, amazing. So I want to finish this session with the last slide before I open this up on what kind what can you use in terms of colors? Just not the last one, the one before this, the 10th. Okay, talking about colors. What we have been using white, we have used violet today. The one before this, Vinita, please. Thank you. Okay, so I did not want to go too much into telling this because most of us know about it, but let me just go through this for your understanding that our Mooladhara chakra, let me just, Vinita, the one before that, the 10th slide, please. Thank you. I just, Vinita, is she there? Vinita, she's trying, or I think she's frozen, right? She's in the same pose. She went into a long meditation, I think. She's not moving.
There's some lag in the,
yes.
in the slides, makes it looks like.
No problem, no problem. So she'll pull it up. So if someone can put it in the chat, she'll see it. So the red color, my dear friends, it stimulates the brain wave. It increases heart rate. It even, a lot of people use red for sexual, to energize the sexual glands. And it energizes the blood. Now, red color is also for war, prosperity, fire, and rising sun. Yeah, so I think she's back. Yeah, Vinita, we were just waiting for that last, the second last slide. Okay, so it is a good color. Raji, I see that you're wearing red. It is really, really, it is a good color to wear when we have a cold or a stuffy nose and we want proper circulation. Can you believe it? But remember, if you wear red a lot, it can make the illness worse. So it has to be, you wear red and you feel healed, wear something else the next day. Because It also, high blood pressure people should not wear red too much because it is energizes. But hey, end of the day, it is the root color of fire and it connects us to our physical self. So depending on when you want to use it, I'm just going to run through this. The sacral, Vinita, are you able to bring up that last second last? It'll help everyone so much to have that. The Swadhisthana chakra, it's now the orange is the color of joy and wisdom, and it stimulates appetite, right? So avoid, this is going to be strange for you, but avoid wearing orange if you feel very, very hungry all the time. It is quite incredible. You'll have lesser appetite if you wear other colors and don't wear orange. Yellow, as you know, it is, I'm wearing yellow. I know that Cash is wearing yellow. It energizes and relieves depression. It improves memory. It works with your digestive problems. Green, the heart chakra, works with your nervous system. So those people, or if you know anyone who suffers from depression, please tell them to wear a lot of green. It works with anxiety and nervousness. Try this out. Colors are prana, which exist around us, right? That's why you have the big yor in the rainbow colors as well. It's a spirituality color. Green also is the color of love. People think it's only pink, but green can attract love, right? It's different to be in love, pink, but it can attract. So Vishuddha, the blue color, it is, of course, the throat chakra. So it's great if you have a throat infection. So Vinita, try wearing blue for the next 2-3 days because, you know, you are trying to, blue is calming and it's cooling to our system. So also with hypertension, indigo, you know, it is a healing color. It's good for immunity. And of course, we have just now worked with a violet color. Cash, one last thing, you were working, you said people say don't wear black. I just wanted to answer and shatter that belief of yours that many people think black is a negative color. But did you know that black is a culmination of all colors? Did you know that? So it actually represents intense energy, and it embraces all the colors, right? I think we perceive black as bad because this is what we've been told. But if you step back, and they always say when in doubt, wear black. I think black is also about showing that you are in control. Gray, what is gray? When people, it's just a mixture of black and white. So there's nothing much to it. Okay. So I just want to say that when the white, I want to end with this, that when the white light meets the black void, it does not make gray, it makes all the colors of the universe. And when confronted with lower vibration colors, amp up your own white light, amp up your connection to your divinity, and I guarantee you that you will catch many, many rainbows. With that, I end our session today. Vinita, we can just take that off. We can take that off. And the last slide is beautiful. I love her. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists. So what about you? All of you, what do you believe in? Right? What do you believe in? Right. So we can take that off. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I hope it was useful. I had to rush through the last because I know that we started about 18 minutes late. So thank you for hanging in there. I have finished exactly on time, but I wish we had more time because the meditation, I went slower. It took longer than I thought. Thank you. How was, you could all unmute yourselves. Actually, we're a small group. Cash, what do you think, Vanda?
Yes, we can. In fact, I see Kusum's hand up. So,
yes,
Kusum, do you have a question?
Before I go to the questions, how was that for all of you?
Very nice.
Yes. Do you feel that
Just
you
like
could?
a salsa.
Minku, it was again a very beautiful revision. I have been doing such classes, but today was very calming and very explanatory. You did explain very well. Yeah. I just had a thought. At times we think about it and things happen. As you say, I'm a very positive person in my life and go for the spiritual things and everything. But sometimes something you're thinking of to happen and it doesn't happen, whether I am repeatedly praying for this or not that it is for me or something myself thing, but things are which in life are important for me.
Right, right.
How do I make it possible?
So the law of attraction, which leads to abundance, is very, very, very important. Just reach out to me one-on-one, and I will send you a beautiful, beautiful, just a few lines to speak every single morning to set yourself up for the day. Because
Wonderful.
our subconscious, Kusum, is the most alive in the morning and before we sleep. So I usually have a practice to set myself up, and maybe we can all do this. I usually do this at the end of the session. I would invite you all to unmute yourself, and let's get the collective consciousness of us, our community, our country, our nation, and all the nations, all the prisons, all the orphanages that need our energy right now. Let's become the contributor. So I would like you all to take responsibility of your positive actions, outcomes for the day, and then that joy and love will spread. Just throw our hands up in the air, all of us. It is going to be a beautiful day. Say that loudly.
Beautiful day.
All of us together, when we get up from the bed and we put our feet, I would like you to do this every single day. Throw your with full gusto. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, today.
It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow and today.
Okay, can we do this together, and can we all unmute, because I want this consciousness to be raised. I'm not feeling it right now, and you know I'm an empath. I'm not feeling it. Can we say this together from the heart, because you want this for yourself and you want this for your community and you want this for the universe? It's suffering, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be a beautiful day
tomorrow morning and always.
Always, right? And as well as I want us all to wrap our arms around us right now and say 3 times, I love me.
I love
me. Louder. I love me.
I love me.
I love me.
I love myself. I love me.
And just feel with a smile. Do these 2 practices, Kusum, every single day. Everything will turn out so beautifully. And when it doesn't, it gives you the resilience to understand that that is not how it's supposed to unfold for you. Because sometimes we are like a little child pulling at our mummy's pallu, and you might have a cold. The child might have a cold, and you're saying, de do na, de do na, de do. But actually, the mother will get fed up and say, chalo, bye, take the ice cream, take the ice cream. But that's not right for the child. Similarly, we human beings do not know what's for the learning in that experience. We do not know the higher good, maybe something better than what you are asking. We have limited intelligence. We ask for 1%. Maybe universe is sitting with the other 99% to give it to you. And you're limiting yourself by asking the 1%. How does it make sense, right?
Wonderful. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for all this deep, thoughtful session.
Thank you. Brinda, can I help you?
My sincere gratitude. My sincere thanks to you.
Thank you, Kusum.
Thank you. Brinda, please.
Yes. Minku, that was beautiful session. I don't have a question for you, but you made a small this thing when I said I'm practicing everything. You said you rock. No, I mean, I really don't rock because it's an everyday practice that I'm trying to do every day, I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to, sometimes I even fake it just to, I,
Yes.
I fake it sometimes and I know it's a fake, but then I try to do it. That's it. Like when I sit to meditate, there are a whole lot of things come into my mind. And then there are sometimes I feel very, very bad about, what somebody else is doing or somebody else is talking, but I still try to keep quiet and accept the person and try to accommodate.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. I can tell you that, to keep the aham away, the ego away and face
Yes.
people.
Yes.
So as of now, I'm not rocking at all.
No, Vrinda, I think we are all rockers. And the way to exist, thank you for being so raw, authentic, and vulnerable. I thank you for that. It takes courage to admit. I want to say two things to you. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
good.
when it comes to laughter, I joy in laughter. I am very closely connected to Dr. Kataria, the laughter guru, and sometimes I'm saying this to you from my heart. Sometimes when people are being silly with me, or I am like all of us, I face challenges or a situation. I just put my hands together and I spontaneously say, thank you, 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 thank you. I thank the universe so quickly for bringing that experience to my life.
Yes,
And
yes.
then I sit back and pause, maybe not at that time, but I will in that day pause and say, what was my learning in that? What is
Yeah.
my takeaway in that? Okay. And the same way, there is one concept. My short story just got accepted in the Book of World Records. And do you know that
Congratulations.
thank you. That's the where I'm trying to get to. Thank you. Is that this lady who was 99 years old? I met her in a fast train going from Tokyo to where were we going? Fast train, and she was an Okinawan from the island of Okinawa or Kyoto. And she in 45 minutes told me a few things that changed my life. I was a typical non-thinking Mingse, and all of a sudden she showed me concepts of ikigai. How can I be one with my purpose, my passion, and my profession? I learned the concept of being imperfectly perfect. Vrinda, to be imperfectly perfect is a beautiful concept of the kintsugi, which is also part of my short story. I live with that I embrace my vulnerabilities, and we can be beautiful in our brokenness, which is the wabi-sabi and kintsugi concept. So these three concepts define me. And I think we can all imbibe our brokenness, our flaws, and say it is perfectly okay to be imperfectly perfect. It's perfect. So you're
Yeah.
doing wonderful, Vrinda. Thank you for
Thank you
sharing.
so much. Thank you. It was like more like a satsang. It was so beautiful.
I like
Yes.
to bring value, and it's not about, you have to experience things. You have to bond. Each one of us have touched each other today. I can promise you, not just because I was speaking, each one touched each other's lives. We shared a common synergy. Energy was exchanged, and we will never be the same after today's session. I promise you that.
Thank you, Minku, and thank you, Art Mantram, for this beautiful session. It's very nice, beautiful.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm just looking around and seeing everyone radiate.
Yes.
Just see the glow on everyone's faces. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
That's so right, Vinny. I think that all of us are feeling much lighter and much more joyous, from the time we came in and now. I feel that way from the
Lord
face.
figures circle of joy.
Thank you so much. I just, in all my authentic self, always think of what value can I give people? What can I share? How can I bring joy in everyone's thing? I know one person who's feeling the lightest is Raji because her chunni came off.
Are there any questions?
Her chunni came off. No, she's lighter now.
Yeah. I
Lighter.
was thinking, what is the difference?
Yeah. So
and it is red. And it
yeah.
is red, the color of vibrancy.
Yeah. Cash, you and I have exchanged a lot of, you were part of my 4-week journey as well. How was it for you today?
Try doing my
As
part.
always, you're so good. You explain so well. You make everything sound so easy and simple.
Thank you. Yes, and it is not complicated. We make it complicated.
Not,
We
yes,
do.
very true.
We create stories in our heads.
Very true.
We love victim roles,
Yes.
and we get fixated because it fulfills our need to be recognized. And that's why we humans create stories.
Yes.
There are no more questions. Cash, would you like to take on the vote of thanks for Mix?
Minku, thank you on behalf of everybody in Atmantram and our team at XCOM. And it was beautiful, every session from meditation to fear, whatever you spoke about. And I would like to tell you that I'm always in a state of gratitude, which is something, it's like, so it comes so natural to me. So listening to what you said today, I will add some more things to my daily life, and I'm sure everybody will. Thank you so much. We had a lovely time and a beautiful session.